The story of the Amityville Horror House is a chilling tale that has captivated audiences for decades. It all began in the small town of Amityville, New York, in 1974, when Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered 6 members of his family in their home at 112 Ocean Avenue. This tragic event would set the stage for one of the most infamous haunted house stories in history. The tale of 112 Ocean Avenue began on a fateful November night in 1974 when Ronald DeFeo Jr., known as Butch, brutally murdered his parents and 4 siblings in their sleep. This gruesome crime shocked the tight-knit community of Amityville and left an indelible stain on the house where it occurred. After the DeFeo murders, the house stood empty for over a year, shunned by potential buyers who were unwilling to overlook its dark history. However, in December 1975, George and Kathy Lutz, along with their 3 children, saw an opportunity to start fresh and purchase the home at a significantly reduced price. Little did they know they were about to step into a nightmare. Almost immediately after moving in, the Lutz family began experiencing inexplicable phenomena. Strange noises echoed through the house at all hours of the day and night, ranging from disembodied footsteps to eerie whispers. Doors and windows would inexplicably open and close on their own, regardless of whether there was a draft or not. Foul odors, reminiscent of decay and sulfur, wafted through the air without any discernible source. As the days turned into weeks, the Lutz family's descent into terror seemed inexorable. Each night brought new horrors, as if the house itself were alive with malevolent intent. The once cheerful atmosphere of their new home soured into a palpable sense of dread, casting a shadow over every room and corridor. For George Lutz, a man typically known for his level-headedness and rationality, the relentless onslaught of paranormal activity took a heavy toll. His demeanor grew increasingly strained, his once easygoing nature replaced by a jittery unease. Obsessed with uncovering the secrets of the house's dark past, George delved into the history of 112 Ocean Avenue with a fervor bordering on desperation. Night after night, George found himself inexplicably drawn from his slumber at the same haunting hour, 3:15 a.m. It was the exact moment when Ronald DeFeo Jr. had wielded his weapon of death, forever staining the house with the blood of his family. Whether by some supernatural force or his own subconscious urging, George would awaken with a start, his heart pounding in his chest as he stared into the abyss of the night. In those witching hours, the house seemed to come alive with a chorus of whispered voices and phantom footsteps. Shadows danced in the dim moonlight, twisting and writhing as if possessed by unseen hands. George's mind became a battleground, torn between the rational explanations he desperately sought and the irrational fear that gnawed at his sanity. Even during the daylight hours, the Lutz family found no respite from the horrors that besieged them. Strange phenomena continued to manifest with alarming frequency, from objects moving of their own accord to inexplicable temperature fluctuations that chilled them to the bone. The once welcoming rooms of their new home now felt like prison cells, each corner harboring unseen terrors. The family's attempts to seek solace and assistance from the local priest, Father Delaney, were met with resistance from the malevolent forces inhabiting the house. Father Delaney experienced intense physical discomfort and psychological torment whenever he attempted to bless the home, leading him to warn the Lutzes of the evil that lurked within. Despite their best efforts to confront the spirits and cleanse the house, the Lutz family's ordeal reached a breaking point. They fled the home in terror, leaving behind the majority of their belongings and never looking back. The house at 112 Ocean Avenue remained vacant, its dark reputation growing with each passing day. As the story of the Amityville Horror House spread like wildfire, it ignited fierce debates among believers and skeptics alike. Those who doubted the Lutz's account pointed to inconsistencies in their story and suggested that they concocted the haunting to capitalize on the tragedy that befell the DeFeo family. Skeptics argued that the Lutz's financial struggles and the allure of fame could have motivated them to fabricate a sensational tale of terror. However, supporters of the Lutz's claims pointed to corroborating evidence and testimonies from other witnesses who had experienced strange phenomena in the house before the Lutz's arrival. Some neighbors reported seeing mysterious figures in the windows late at night, while others claimed to have heard unexplained noises emanating from the house when it was supposed to be vacant. These accounts lent credence to the possibility that there was something truly sinister lurking within the walls of 112 Ocean Avenue. As the legend of the Amityville Horror House grew, so too did the depth of investigation into its history and the surrounding area. Paranormal researchers delved into archives, interviewed locals, and scoured historical records in search of clues that might shed light on the eerie occurrences at 112 Ocean Avenue. Their efforts unearthed a tapestry of unsettling events that predated the infamous DeFeo murders. Among the most intriguing discoveries were reports of Native American burial grounds located on or near the property. According to local lore, the land upon which the house was built had once been sacred ground to the indigenous peoples of the region. Some believed that disturbing these ancient burial sites could have invoked a curse upon the land, unleashing malevolent spirits intent on wreaking havoc. Furthermore, rumors of occult activity in the Amityville area added another layer of intrigue to the story. Whisperings of secret rituals conducted by clandestine groups and practitioners of the dark arts fueled speculation that the house may have been a focal point for such activities. Some theorists posited that these occult practices could have left behind residual energy or summoned entities from beyond the veil, contributing to the atmosphere of dread that permeated the property. Paranormal investigators meticulously documented these findings, weaving them into a narrative that sought to explain the inexplicable. They pointed to historical precedents of hauntings and poltergeist activity associated with sites of tragedy and trauma, suggesting that the events at 112 Ocean Avenue were part of a larger pattern of paranormal phenomena. However, skeptics remained unconvinced, dismissing the investigators' findings as mere speculation and conjecture. They argued that there was no concrete evidence to support the notion of a curse or supernatural influence on the property, attributing the reported hauntings to psychological factors or natural explanations. Despite the skepticism, the discoveries made by paranormal researchers added another layer of complexity to the mystery of the Amityville Horror House. The idea that ancient curses and occult rituals could be intertwined with the tragic history of the property captured the public's imagination, fueling speculation and debate for years to come. Despite the skepticism and controversy surrounding the Amityville Horror House, one thing remains certain: the psychological toll it took on the Lutz family and the lasting impact it had on their lives. The trauma they endured during their brief stay in the house haunted them long after they fled, leaving them grappling with nightmares, anxiety, and feelings of dread. In the decades since the Lutz's ordeal, the Amityville Horror House has become an enduring symbol of terror and fascination, inspiring a myriad of books, films, and television shows. The house itself has changed hands multiple times, with each new owner facing scrutiny and speculation about the paranormal activity within its walls. Despite numerous attempts to debunk or explain away the events of 112 Ocean Avenue, the true nature of the haunting remains a mystery. Whether it was a case of elaborate fabrication, psychological delusion, or a genuine encounter with the supernatural, the story of the Amityville Horror House continues to captivate audiences and spark debate, serving as a chilling reminder that some mysteries defy explanation and some horrors are best left undisturbed. The story of the Amityville Horror House spread like wildfire, captivating the public's imagination and inspiring numerous books, movies, and documentaries. Skeptics questioned the Lutz family's claims, suggesting that they fabricated the story for fame and fortune. However, others believe that the house was truly haunted by the restless spirits of the DeFeo family. To this day, the Amityville Horror House remains one of the most infamous haunted locations in the world, drawing thrill-seekers and paranormal investigators alike in search of answers to the mysteries that lie within its walls. Whether the events that transpired in the house were real or imagined, the story of the Amityville Horror House continues to fascinate and terrify audiences around the globe. In the end, it was the sheer weight of fear and despair that drove the Lutz family to abandon their home and flee into the night. They left behind their belongings and their dreams of a fresh start, escaping with only their lives and the scars of their harrowing ordeal. But even as they sought refuge elsewhere, the memories of their time at 112 Ocean Avenue would haunt them forever, a reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond the threshold of our understanding.